And welcome to Face the Tribune on this fabulous Friday in Las Vegas. 107 degrees here today. We are live here at 12 o'clock Pacific time in Las Vegas, Nevada at the beautiful Radio Tribune facilities. And with that, Rolando, how is your day?
It's been pretty busy. I didn't have time to realize that we are on 106, 107 is going to be probably in a couple more hours, and it is a nice day. I thought it was going to be awful day because when I get up, I get up very early in the morning, and I don't have the luxury of somebody that can get up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 5. And it was kind of cloudy, and it was kind of awful looking, But it's getting better. Yes. It's getting better. The only thing that is not getting better and is not look better is the way these Republicans are acting. I don't know which one is worse, the Democrats or the coward Republicans that are afraid to go face to face with the Democrats. Yes. I mean, if you cannot, and I tell you the truth, Chris, I don't think right now it's a matter of Democrats, Republican, Independent. I think right now it's a matter of Americans. We need to get together. We need to give the president, the administration, forget about, okay, you don't like the president, you don't like to admit that you can support him. Don't support him. Support the administration. The administration needs that we all be together and we all be able to respond to the enemy outside this country. We are not the enemies. Yes. Mitch McConnell, we not the enemy. John McCain, we are not the enemies. Put that in your head. Yes. And now people are complaining because Donald Trump is going to ask Mitch McConnell to resign. Yes. So what? What is the big deal? If he wants to resign, he resigns. And if he doesn't want to, he's not going to resign. That's right. I mean, stop being so silly and so sissy and so stupid because it's not going to help anybody. Yeah. It's not going to help anybody. I mean, we need to be able to have confidence that we have an administration that can respond for us. That's right. Don't make it more difficult for the man than the public, the citizens elected to be the president. What is your problem with that? What is your problem? 17 people plus him was running for the job. The country, the nation, the citizens, the whatever you want to call them, are the ones that pick that guy to become the president because they want something different. They don't want a Bush, they don't want a Clinton, they don't want anybody else but somebody fresh, somebody new, somebody with an open mind. And then you got Mitch McConnell saying the president doesn't have the experience. What do we want? Another person like you that has been there for 30-some years? Is that what we need? You're wrong, McCain. You're wrong, Mitch McConnell. I don't think that's what we need. We need somebody with a fresh mind, somebody with an open mind, somebody with the guts that you Republicans have not had up to now. You have become a puppet of the Democrat, Socialist, and the communist mainstream media. Mainstream, I'm sorry, but what else can you do? What else can you say? Why don't you step down and let somebody else take the route that we need to take? Get somebody with the manhood that is needed. You are too weak, too wimp, too old, and too useless. You don't need to be there no more, Mitch McConnell.
That's right. Yeah, he's been there 32 years. Of course, Uncle Harry was there 34 years. And these dudes, I keep saying it all along, they want business as usual. They don't want to change anything. They're part of the swamp that our president is talking about. They're part of that same swamp. So, yeah, I mean, these guys have been there forever, Lamando, and they don't want to. They want the lobbyists to continue to pay them. Watch. All you got to do is watch how much money that they come into office with and how much money they leave with.
That's all you need to do.
And that lets you know it's pay for play. That's what's going on in Washington, D.C. It's pay for play. And I told you, he's going to start calling everybody out. Everybody, Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, he needs to call every one of them out. And they're all up for midterm elections next year. So vote their butts out of office because every one of them is up for re-election in 2018. And I tell you what, I would rather work with Democrats than want to work
with 2018 is next year, right? So they start campaigning this year.
Got that? Yes.
Well, let's show these politicians who is in charge now.
That's right.
Let's show American people, show this Mitch and John.
That's right.
And all these.
That's right.
Betrayals.
Yes.
I tell you, I always had a great respect for John McCain because I have respect for everybody who served in the armed forces. And I have more respect for him for what he endured during his tour.
Yes.
But I never thought that he was going to be such a wimp.
Yes.
And I'm sorry to say that because I had a lot of respect for him. I admire him because he was a fantastic soldier, but he's not being a fantastic American now, in my opinion. That's my opinion. It's not the radio station, it's not Radio Tribune, it's not Las Vegas Tribune, it's mine. Rolando Larraz's opinion. McCain and McConnell and all those people. I think Donald Trump made a mistake when he didn't use Rudy Giuliani, Chris Christie.
Yes. Yes.
Who's the other one that was very loyal to him? No, Bill O'Reilly.
He should have had Bill O'Reilly. Kennedy, all of them. He should have gave him positions,
But I think, I don't know, it's another one that was there to the end with him. And this is what the Democrats and the Republicans alike need to put in their little tiny bird brains.
Yes.
Okay? The people elected Donald Trump.
Yes.
Nobody else elected Donald Trump.
Right.
Okay? There was 17 more choices. 17 people that was there in line begging to get the job. Because that's all they did. Beg, and ask for money. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for anything. He just said what he was going to do. Let him do the job that the American people elected him to do. That's all. It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous that we are being laughing stock in Europe and everything else. How do you feel when you gonna brag about something to somebody you having an argument with, and your member of your family said, I don't know why he talk like that. He got nothing to back what he's saying. What do you think the enemy is going to say? Do I make any sense? Or, it doesn't make any sense to me. I know maybe my accent is interrupting my mind, but believe me, I don't think so. I talk with an accent, but I don't think with an accent. I believe John McCain was wrong, and I believe that Mitch McConnell is wrong.
Yes.
Very wrong.
Yes.
Okay? He never had this job before. None of those people has worked as a president before they were elected.
That's right.
None.
That's right.
It's not the same to be a state governor or a state senator or even a U.S. senator than be a president. It's a different ball game in case you didn't realize that, Mitch McConnell. I can't stand to see you on TV anymore. I think the president is right. You need to get out. Mm-hmm. You need to resign. You need to go somewhere and maybe a senior citizen hospital or something like that, because you're too old for this job now. Too old.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think that the Republicans, years ago, I believe they made peace with the Democrats. I think that socialist media, the socialist program that they're trying to put the United States on, they want this to become a socialist country. They want to take care of people from cradle to grave and control them. They want to let illegal immigration come up through the southern border, northern border, and they want to lower the wages, and that's why they want these illegals to come over here, because they're lowering the wages of American workers. They want to transport all of our plants out of this country to Mexico and to other countries so that they can make even more money than they're making already. And here comes a man that doesn't need the job. He already has money, and he's trying to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C., and they don't want things to change, boss. That's the whole reason. Republicans and Democrats, they're all the same to me. I don't see any difference between Mitch McConnell and a Democrat. I don't see. In fact, that's worse, because he's in his party and going against me. So I said it before. I'd vote all of them out, and I don't care if the Democrats took the House and the Senate. If Democrats wanted to work with me, I would rather work with them than betrayers in my own party, because that's what he's facing right now. And I think it's a shame. And I think that Mitch McConnell and Ryan and all of them, John McCain needs to retire. They've all been in the Senate for 20 and 30 and 40 years. And they're used to getting those lobbyist kickbacks, and they don't want Trump to change anything. They want things to stay the same. They're not going to pass anything new. They're not going to pass tax reform. They're not going to pass health care reform. They're not going to do nothing unless those lobbyists tell them to do it. If those lobbyists write them a check, then they'll pass the bill. If they don't get a check, they're not going to pass anything. And Donald Trump is tired of that. He's tired of Americans. They're not passing things for Americans. They're passing things to benefit them and their rich friends. That's what they're doing.
That's exactly what it is.
They're doing.
That's what it's been like that for years and years and years. You know, decade after decade. Mm-hmm. And now what happened is no more decade. They be fake.
That's right. That's right, boss.
You know, I don't know how to put it. It's about time that the American people take over the United States of America. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to put it any other way.
Trump is smart. The one thing I did criticize him, because I felt like he didn't understand Washington, D.C., but what I do like about him is this. I think he's put himself in a win-win situation. Either they're going to help his agenda, or he's going to talk about it. The American people are going to know the truth. This is what I tried to do for you, and they didn't do anything. So the American people are going to know these are the people that you're voting for. You're voting for people that go to Congress and do nothing but get rich. And Trump is calling them out one by one. And that's why they're on a new thing now. It used to be this, that, and the other. Now you know what they're worried about? His rhetoric. They don't like the way he talks now. Because I'm telling you, he's calling every one of them out by name. I've never seen a president do that before. Mitch McConnell, it's time for you to go. Paul Ryan, it's time for you to go.
He said that?
Oh, yeah.
He said that?
Yeah, he wants to
Good for him. I didn't know that.
He wants all to go. He said it's time for you to all go. He called Paul Ryan out by name. He said 7 years I've sat there and listened to you talk about repealing and
Oh, my God. Thanks God. Maybe he's listening to this. Maybe he's listening to me. Because I taught him from the beginning. I taught him Paul Ryan is not in your side.
That's right.
He wants to be president or one day vice president.
Yes, he does.
And look at the new pact with the vice president.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're teaming up.
Yes, they are.
Paul Ryan,
Yes.
I'm telling you,
Yes.
Donald Trump need to take the horse by the mouth. He need to take control of the White House and control of everything, regardless of what happened. Oh, he told that to Paul Ryan too. Good for him. Good for him.
Yep.
And he should have done that from day one.
Yes.
Comey, Ryan, and all these people should have been gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So that's what I like about him. So they're like, he needs to tone his rhetoric down. No, he doesn't.
No,
You want him to shut up. That's what you want him to do because he's calling you out. That's why they want him to shut up. I hope he keeps talking.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Where was I? Where have I been? Where have I
Oh,
been?
they're all upset at him. Oh, he's calling everybody out by name. They all pissed off now. They're like, tone your rhetoric. He's not going to shut up. He's going to call you out one by one because he knows your midterm elections are coming up in 1 year. He gets to sit there. He's got 3.5 more years, but your butt, the term is up next year. So he's called Paul Ryan got to run for re-election. Mitch McConnell got to run for, John McCain got to run for re-election. So he's calling every one of them out by name and saying, hey, either you pass this agenda, you repeal and replace Obamacare for 7 years. You took all of this Republican money, all these donations from the RNC saying you're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. He said this should have been done the first day that I took office. What are we waiting for? That's what he said today. He said it should have took 6 months. The paperwork should have been on my desk the first day I took off. That's how he thinks. What are we waiting for? 7 years. Now we control everything. Where's the paperwork? Let's sign it. Let's get it passed. Let's repeal and replace it. What are we waiting for? What are y'all waiting for? I'll tell you what they're waiting for. A check. That's what they're waiting for, boss. A check.
And they need, and he need to put his eye on Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Heller have to go, and don't let Nevada people brainwash you. Danny Tarkanian is not the right person. He's been running forever, and he's not getting tired of running. He's never been with you. He was not with you. His wife was the campaign manager for Carly Fiorina in Nevada. They sat over here in that and this, well, not this table, but the other table. She was sitting over there next to me, and he was there. I was in that corner over there, and they never say anything good about Donald Trump. When Adam Roots wrote yesterday, then Danny Tarkanian is the right person. I never talk about what I'm going to write. I always talk about what I did right. But I am so shocked to hear when Adam Roots saying that Danny Tarkanian is the right person to replace Dean Heller, and it is wrong. I admire Wayne Allen Root. I always figure that he is a good ally of Donald Trump. I tried to get him in this radio show, but he's too much of a big shot for me. I'm not big enough for him, I guess, because they start asking this and asking that, and how long the show, how long you've been in the show, how long you've been in this town, how long this, how long that. What is the difference? I'm not going to be talking about me. I'm going to be talking about you and your job in the media. What is the problem? What is the difference? They make sure I stopped emailing. He got some woman over there. I don't know if it was his wife, his girlfriend, his mistress. I don't know who was it, but I got tired. Every day it was on one email or two emails because Wayne is too busy and Wayne this and Wayne that. Go to hell. You know, I admire the guy. He talks wonderful. He talks beautiful. He is knowledgeable. I used to listen to him when he was an early show. But now, I guess he figured that because he works for the Review Journal now, then, and I don't know, because they changed his column back and forth. They treat him like a puppet. You know, he started with 3 days, then he started with 2 days, then went back to 3 days. You know, but that's not the point now. The point is that he is wrong. Danny Tarkanian is not the right person. He's too much of a... He's living off the name of his father. He's living off the name of his father. Tarkanian has been dead now for, I don't know, 5 years, 7 years, I don't know how long he's been dead. But Tarkanian is not Tarkanian anymore. Simple as that. Right. He ran for states, he ran for this, he ran for that. He ran for everything, and he never win. Nobody ever pay attention to him. Nobody take him serious. It doesn't make any sense for Wayne Allen Root, somebody in his caliber, somebody in the position that he is, to come out with a statement like that. You know, but everybody have their own agenda or their own feeling or their own belief. I don't know. Whatever it is, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, and that's going to be in the paper next week. I never do that. I never talk about what I'm going to write. But this time, I have to do it because I am surprised that somebody of the talent of Wayne Allen's roots could be that naive and so confused to confuse the voters of Nevada. We need somebody different. We don't need Danny Tarkanian. We don't need Dean Heller either. So that's
it's amazing. It's amazing how we can want the Danny Tarkanians of the world, people like that, but the people vote Bob Beers out of office. They gotta be crazy.
Bob Beers is going to run for a state treasurer. Good. He's going to run for a state treasurer. And that's where he belongs. Yes. He's an accountant. He's a CPA. He's an intelligent man. He is a budget conservative. Good. He is a great guy. Good. I wish him luck. But unfortunately, he's controlled by Lisa Mayo, and he's not going to come over here anymore because she don't allow him to come here, and that's the problem. And I don't care if everybody will walk away from here. I don't care because I'm gonna keep here. I'm gonna be in this microphone, and I'm gonna tell everybody the truth, regardless of what it is.
That's right.
So it's Bob Beers'
problem. That's Lisa May's problem. What's her problem with us? What do we do to her?
Because she doesn't like me because I don't take orders from her.
Oh.
That's why. And I told him in the air, then she get money from clients, and then she fly to Alaska because she got to take care of her grandkids. And then she go to the hospital because she is a willing hospital. You know, he's a hospital on wheels. She have this sickness and that sickness and that sickness, and that's it. You know, and I don't take orders from them.
That's right.
And then she tells Stavros Anthony and Bob Beer and Michelle Fiore and all that, and what's her name, Victoria Seaman. I gave Victoria Seaman an hour every Saturday to communicate with the audience, with her audience. And when I got the fight with the disagreement, I don't fight with women, but the disagreement with Lisa Mayo de Rizzo, she quit. She didn't even have the decency to say thank you for the opportunity. But that is nothing new. That's nothing new. Everybody else, people in the black community, I open the doors for them and they do the same thing. I got, I forgot the names now, Erica Washington and Aisha Cohen, or whatever her name is, and the other Washington, you know, they all Washington, and Erica Washington, and I forgot his name, Washington also, and the other lady that was married to a police, Las Vegas police officer, then I think he got fired anyway, so had a show, then asking for money, and they all blacks, and they all have the opportunity. I give Erica Washington 3 hours a day, 3 hours a day. And one day she just didn't come back. I have to go to her house to get the key for the office, you know. But I don't care. I do the right thing regardless of how many bad things people do to me. I'm not trying to give the impression that I am the victim. I'm not a victim. I want people to have the opportunity that I didn't have in the black station. Then the chairman, Larry Weekly, was my friend, okay? And they tell me I cannot have an hour of a radio program because I'm not black. If that is not discrimination, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, okay? The guy told me, and me and Miguel Barrientos, boss, we cannot have a show there, but you got a guy like Lee Brown. When his father went to open when his father went to buy the Voice newspaper, I loaned him the money. And that's how the Sentinel became the Sentinel Voice. And Lee Brown had the audacity to tell me that I cannot write in his paper because I'm not black. Isn't that racist?
That's discrimination.
Thank you.
Discrimination.
Thank you. Ramon Savoy, I never told him, I never asked him for the opportunity to write in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
But he bought the paper from Lee Brown, and I don't know what Lee Brown is doing now, but every time I get the opportunity, every time I get a chance, every time I get one of these things in my house, in my mouth, I tell people that the black people are also discriminated.
Oh, yeah.
They are more discriminated and more racist than the white people are.
I've experienced it.
Because they are users.
I've experienced it.
How can you experience? You are black.
Black people discriminate against other black people more than white people do, boss.
Really?
I always tell people this. Part of the reason that even Mexicans come over here and do better than black people is because black people don't help each other. And Mexicans help each other. They open up a business, everybody works in there as Mexican. Whatever they do, they hire Mexican. But you get a black person in a position, they totally forget.
Don't I know that? There's a lawyer. There's a lawyer over here, just 3 blocks away from here. He got the office full of Mexicans. And if an American person goes over there, they do everything to throw her out.
Yes.
They even put a bottle of vodka or what the Mexicans drink?
Tequila.
Tequila. Put a bottle of tequila in her desk to tell the American wimp lawyer, look, she got tequila. She got tequila in there. And everybody in there is Mexican except the lawyer and his wife. Mexicans want to take over this town.
I think they're doing a good job. I really do. Because they stick together. They stick together. And you're absolutely right. I mean,
and it's funny because they don't get along.
No. But they will come together when they have to. That's one thing. They can argue and fight. They do amongst themselves. But when it comes time, they're like the Democrats. They go
Look how many people have criticized and even say lies about Miguel Barrientos. Miguel Barrientos is he's doing his job. He got his radio show. He got his idea, but the cliques don't allow the politician to invest money with him. The cliques don't like anybody to advertise with Miguel Barrientos. But Miguel Barrientos have a different attitude than I have. I let them do whatever they want. I'm here in my little coffee hall. Whoever wants to come here, fine. Whoever doesn't want to come here, go to hell. But Miguel, no. Miguel keep going over there, keep going over there, keep being abused and mistreated by his own people. But I guess that's the way to do it. Because the Fernando Romeros and all these people, the Latin Chamber of Commerce, then I don't call them the Latin Chamber of Commerce, I call them the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, because the only reason they have a Cuban there as the president is to cover the appearance, to give the appearance of neutrality.
Everybody else is Mexican, love.
Everybody else.
They got one to do it.
But that's why people don't like Rolando Larraz, because Rolando Larraz tells you the truth.
I love Rolando Larraz because he does tell the truth. And I'm telling you something, everybody out there, this is what we're talking about. Come in and face the Tribune. Don't be scared. Come in. We'll be nice to you. We like to have a good debate. Call in.
I always respect people that come
right.
in.
Yes, you do.
They my guests in the radio, I treat it with respect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I disagree
Always.
or not. And that's what people say. Well, you do suck when you interview the Attorney General. You do suck when you interview the mayor. You are among themselves. You want to be in the same clique.
No.
I don't want to be in the same
And
clique.
you're always.
I am very proud to be friends with Oscar Goodman, but I don't go places with Oscar Goodman. I don't kick with him. I don't kiss anybody's butt. I don't. That's the problem with me. I don't know how. Like I say before, all the years I've been here, all the people that I know, if I was a yes man, I can be a very powerful and maybe a very wealthy man. But I don't owe anything to anybody, and I don't have to kiss anybody's butt.
That's right.
Nobody is better than me, and I'm not better than anybody else. That's all.
And one thing I can say for you, I've seen people go on other people's shows and they get thrown questions that I think are almost setup questions or unfair. And I notice one thing about you. You always, if it's a sensitive question, you'll say, you don't have to answer this question. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it. But I notice you always give them the chance to, if they don't want to answer it, if they don't want to go into that subject, they don't. But if you listen to other shows, if you watch other people, they set people up. They bring them in and just hit them with a question. It's like,
because
wow,
I don't want to put them in the spot.
Yes, yeah.
And you have to realize this. Like, for example, when Bob Becker was my co-host, I realized how vindictive some of the judges are. And if he go along the way I feel about the judges, when he appear in court as a lawyer, appear in front of the judges, they can take advantage. They can crucify him, and the only one that is going to suffer is the client. It's the client, because then you got people like Doug Smith, the honorable. How can he be an honorable? And he take the bill off a guy because he doesn't like the way the guy says thank you to him. The guy says thank you, and he said it was sarcastic, and he revoked his bill.
Wow.
A Spanish guy, I think he was Cuban. You know.
Wow.
And that's probably because his best friend was married to a Cuban lady and she ran away with a police officer. That's, and you know, and nobody had the audacity to talk about that. But I don't owe anything to anybody. I don't owe any favors to nobody. That's the reason why I go over there and I've been treated with sometimes with respect. Sometimes people deal with me because they don't want to upset me. But one thing I can tell you, and it's the honest to God's truth, I never ask for any favors, because if I have to write anything about any of those judges, I don't want to be able to say, well, how can you say that about me when I did these favors and this favor and that favor? I don't ask for favor. I very seldom, I'm very lucky. I haven't had a ticket in I don't know how many years. I get a ticket, I go and pay my own ticket. Simple as that. But I used, in the old days, all the reporters and the columnists and everything, they used to put their picture in the column. So when they go to the hotels, the Metro D and the captain, they know who they are and they come. Because in those days when Las Vegas was run by human beings, they used to have columns. And some employees have the power of the pen. And I never put my picture in the paper. Never. Because I don't need a Metro D or a captain to count my meal. I don't need it. Because Because the day I have to write something about that hotel, I'm going to write about it. You know, in the same way I wrote about the Golden Nugget when the Golden Nugget had an employee over there that was there for 12 years, 14 years, whatever it was, and he served 14 years in the Navy. His brother died, and they didn't want to give him the day off to go to the funeral. They fired him because he called sick that day. And the union, that piece of trash group of people that are in cahoots with the hotels, oh, we can get you another job. We put you in another hotel. I don't want another hotel. I want this one where I got seniority. I got seniority. I've been here 12 years or 14 years. That's why I don't believe in unions. Unions are not but a good way to extort money from employees.
That's all it is, boss. That's exactly what it is. Right?
You know, I don't believe that is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I want to get to this one little story, boss, because I kind of been feeling that this has been coming. 5 transgender service members sue Trump over military ban. I had a feeling that was going to happen. 5 transgender people serving in the U.S. military sued President Donald Trump and top Pentagon officials Wednesday, asking that transgender troops be allowed to stay in the military. The lawsuit was filed in response to Trump's ban abruptly announced last month on Twitter. The plaintiffs filed the lawsuit under subpoenas J and Doe numbers 1 through 5 in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. The case was organized by 2 rights groups, the National Center for Lesbian Rights and GLBTQ Legal Advocates and Defenders, or GLAAD. Other rights groups like Lambda, OutServe, and the American Civil Liberties Union were preparing lawsuits but were holding off until the Trump administration takes its steps to implement the ban, such as issuing formal guidance to the military or beginning the process of changing military rules. What do you think is going to happen with that?
Well, first of all, I need to find out if the transgenders have the complete operation or the transsexuals have the complete operation. I don't believe that a man with boobs and the other part down below is still properly working should be, I don't believe it should be in the service. I don't know, maybe that part that I am complaining about is what make them good soldiers. But then why having a big boobs? Or boobs, period, big or small. I don't know. I am very, very ignorant about that. If they are transgender all the way, I think they should be able to join the army, and they should be able to serve their country like everybody else, because they have women serving in it. And once they have that operation, they are women. Yeah. They used to be a man, but now they are a woman, but they're still human beings, and they still have they still have the position or the interest of serving their country. I don't see anything wrong. What is your opinion?
I love President Donald Trump. We're big supporters for him at Radio Tribune. I didn't agree with him on that. And I just, to me, you're either qualified to serve or you're not. If you love this country, if you want to fight for this country, if you want to represent this country and you're qualified, physically, mentally, your health is in order, and you can pass basic training, I don't care what you want.
I know, but you have to be one or the other, and you cannot be both. Mm-hmm. You cannot be half woman, half man. Mm-hmm. That's my point.
Okay.
That is the only thing that got me concerned.
Okay.
Because you go there to serve. You're not going to go there to pick up guys. You're not going to go there to, and believe me, some guys pretend to be Mr. Super Macho, and when they see that, they're going to go for, they like the hanky-panky.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
I don't think, I know people that are tough, construction guys, and then they go out looking for boys. And, that's not the hypocrisy is what it confused people. Okay, and if the transgender mean they have that thing cut off, that will be fine. They should be able to. Otherwise, wait until you become a transsexual, and then. Did that make any sense?
Yes, I understand.
I don't know if I know how to explain it that well, because remember that we are also an FM station and a public radio station, and then
I think it's going
I've
to
been more careful how you say it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I was saying this to when we had Laura Hernandez on, and she does a wonderful show here at Radio Tribune. And I think that.
What happened yesterday? You run a show yesterday?
No,
No, Wednesday. You did. Oh, good.
Yeah, she does a wonderful show. She'll be back with us probably next week. But I just think it's going to be so many different lawsuits, man. I think the Supreme Court is going to be busy, going to be very busy with this, because I just we're changing as a world, we're changing as a country, and I know a lot of people are going to be slow to change. And usually, when that happens, the Supreme Court has to be involved. When it was immigration, when they were integrating schools, when they were giving women the right to vote, when they were giving blacks the right to vote, unfortunately, the Supreme Court, has to get involved. And I see the same thing with, gays. They finally were able to get the right to be married, and I think now it's like 39 states. And I think the same thing is going to happen with transgender. I think, unfortunately.
Well, I believe that. I always say that if they want to get married, let them get married, because now they're going to suffer the divorce. That's the problem.
That'll discourage.
Yeah, that's the problem. Let them get married, and then they're going to suffer the divorce. And it's happening. There's two cases in the Clark County Family Court. Then two gay couples, and let me tell you, they can be very, very evil when they get pissed, when they get mad. They get to the point where it's more difficult than a regular marriage.
Right.
When they're fighting and fighting and fighting, and and they want to get married. To me, the way I feel. Marriage is only a piece of paper to fulfill the ego of society. It's simple as that. People get married because the narrow mentality of those people who are in charge of any establishment and everything else. You live with a woman for 20 years, she go to the hospital and they don't want to give you any information because you're not a husband. You just did, well, first of all, I believe, and I can be wrong, then after 7 years or 10 years, you're married. But assuming if you don't have that piece of paper, the nurse and the hospitals try not to give you any information. That's why a lot of people do get married.
Yes.
Because they care for their partner. And the same thing with a gay couple.
Yep.
I knew a guy that lived with his partner for almost 14 years old. I don't remember. I got another one. I know another one. I forgot about it. They've been together for 29 years.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, how many real heterosexual couples that no, nowadays no more. You know, and that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think I can understand. I mean, maybe why he made that decision, why he did what he did. It's new. It is. I think more and more transgenders are going to come out and of the closet per se. But I think it's going to be norm in a few years. It's going to be very normal. But unfortunately, I think that they're going to have to file a lot of lawsuits to get rights that the rest of us enjoy. And I just think eventually they'll be accepted into the military. They'll have to come up with some sort of rules and, you know, this, that, or the other. But eventually, I think just like I remember when gays were not allowed in the military, and now they are. And I think it'll be the same thing with transgenders. You know?
And I knew a lot of gay people that lied, saying that they were not gay just to serve, because your sexual preference doesn't mean that you cannot have feeling for your country. You know, you are honored to serve the country, and that's why every time I see, and I'm doing that with police officers now. I see them in the streets, and I thank them for their service, because it's not easy to be a police officer nowadays, where some stupid crazy guy shoot a police officer. Look at those two in New York. They're sitting in the patrol car eating lunch, and they got killed. You know, it doesn't. What is the point?
Stupid, man.
I don't understand. What is the point?
This is dumb. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
You know, and the same thing with the service. I wish I was rich, because if I go to a restaurant and I see a group of soldiers having lunch, and I say lunch because, you know, I don't go to dinner outside my house at nighttime. But if they come to have lunch, and if I had the money, instead of saying thank you for your service, I would pick up that tab, because I don't think they make that much money.
No, they don't.
Right now they make more than I do, but
they get paid better than they used to for what they do every day. For us, they don't get paid enough to me. No, man, that's a dangerous job. That's a very dangerous job. I couldn't imagine doing that. I really couldn't. So.
Do you ever serve?
No, sir. My dad did. My grandfather did. I didn't. No.
Why not?
It was a mistake that I made. My dad wanted me to go into the military. I actually took the test out in San Diego when I was 17 years old. I took the test. I wish I did very well. They wanted me to enter into the Naval Academy, actually. And I wish I would have gone, because my life went through a rocky road after that. And I think my dad saw the fact that I probably needed the discipline at the time.
Yeah.
I think it would have done well for me. And I think I encourage a lot of kids today, if you don't have a clear plan or you don't want to go to college, I think the military, serve your country. They pay for you to go to school. You're insured.
Yeah.
You know, if you're married, you get housing. I think it's the way to go, man. I really honestly do.
Yeah,
I really do.
I believe that we had better men when it was the selective service.
Yes.
When there was the draft. They go there for, what was it, 2 years?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yes.
You go there, you learn discipline, you learn organization, you learn a lot of things that you don't do. And that's another of the issues that I have with the transgender. How do we know that the transgenders are, the real thing, or they just go there to get the operation for free?
Yes, yes. What a show today, man. Thank you so much for joining us. What a powerful, powerful show. Somebody got my boss ready today. I don't know what happened. He woke up, he was ready for the show today, and what a great show. He's still the legendary Rolando LaRosa, and you wonder why I say that every show. You just got a little piece of that today. So don't be afraid to come in and face the Tribune. Once again, we will be good to you. We enjoy debating people of all colors, races, genders, political affiliations. We love it. Come on in. Again, call us 983-0711, 702-983-0711. Fabulous weekend. My boss about to get out of here and go to California. Thank you so much for watching. God bless America. God bless our troops. And Godspeed to Donald Trump. Stay tuned to Chris Garcia, the Conservative American.